Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another update for my Pan Those Eyeshadows for you. And I'm rolling something out again. Can you guess which one? Anyway, let's jump in, starting off with the one that has been in here as one of the longest. This is my Ellie Colors palette. And then here I'm working on this green shade right here. I'm wearing it today on like the outer part of my lid. I've said it before, like it's a bluish tone green. Let me remember to swatch it. Which is not my favorite type of green. I like the more yellow leaning, but I've put the yellow pigments kind of on the inside going into that green as well, which makes it more warm toned again. But that's what it looks like. I'm definitely starting to see a little bit of a dip in here, so that is nice. I've panned one of these palettes before, so my expectation is that it will take me somewhere between 25 and 30 uses to actually hit pan. Let's see if that is actually the case. But yeah, I rolled this in all the way at the start in January, did not use it except for the one time in my first like 3-ish months, because I had another green in this project as well and a green in my Pandit palette, which I know I promised I wasn't going to do that anymore, but I did it anyway. So right now this is the only green that I'm working on, except for maybe my taupey green like Robbery, but that's very different from this one. So I am able to use it enough to actually make some progress on it. So I've used it 16 times in total. I might have said 15 before, but I had that one use in January as well. And yeah, we're gonna keep working on it. It's not that there's no pen yet, so it is what it is when it comes to that one. Then we have my W7 palette right here. The W7 palette I rolled in 2 months ago now, so I've used it 2 months, and in that 2 months I've used it 11 times. This is where we are at with that one right now. You can see a little bit of a dip starting to form in there as well. No idea about like the depth of the pens in this palette. I have never used a W7 palette before. This one is one that I got from my sister as well. So we're just gonna see how long it's gonna take. I've used it, like I said, 11 times, 6 times in the last month, 5 times this month. I have that in my kind of like outer V to darken things up a little bit. I had a few that I didn't hit my 5 uses on yet, so I just put them all in this look together. This being one of them. 11 uses. I like this shade, so it's easy enough for me to use it. But I still like, with a project like this, I just need to make sure that I don't forget about my Panda palette and play with these too much, which it's a weird concept, but project panning. Last month I rolled this one in. This is my NYX or NYX. Oh, let me swatch that purple shade. I don't want to forget. Purple. Is it even purple? It's like a brownish, like brown base with a purplish sheen to it. I don't know how well you can see it. I like the shade. It's maybe not that much of a summer shade, more of a fall shade probably, but that's okay. Anyway. NYX palette. In here I'm working on the red shade. I still have like only 4 shades left that do not have pan, one of them being the black that I'm not going to focus in on right now, but this one is the one that I'm focusing in on at the moment. I've used this one 5 times and you can see a bit of disturbance starting to happen on it. Not full on a dip, I wouldn't say, but I like warm reddy shades. Again, more fall probably, but it's a nice shade. I have that in my crease as kind of a transition shade today, which didn't really work with the green specifically, but then when I added like the burgundy to the outside and I added the yellow pigment, they kind of pulled it all together. So that's that one. 5 uses for now. It's gonna be in for a little while, but at the same time it's a powdery-ish palette, so it's gonna move quickly enough is my expectation, like 20 to 25 uses maybe. Then in my 100, no, this is not 100, 88 pan palette, I am working on this shade right here. I have used this one another 4 times over the last month. I finished off my look and then I realized that I did not have 5 uses on this one yet as I thought. So it's a bit of a shame, but it's okay. I have used this one 15 times now, used it 6 times last month, 5 times the month before, and that's how long it's been in as well. So I definitely see a proper dip towards the side here, which is where I'm focusing my brush. So my expectation for this one as well is that I might be able to hit pan soon. So let's see, just a quick swatch. It's just a, you can barely see it on my skin type of shade. As you can see, I'm working on my Pan That palette like highlight shade as my brow bone highlight. Otherwise I would be flying through this one as my highlight shade at the moment, but I'm just using this on my lids every now and then. Then we also had a darkish blue shade in my Manly palette that I've been working on. And here it is, this blue right here, and I don't think you can see it from there, but I will of course show a close-up as well. I did hit pan on this one. It took me how many uses? Only 2 more uses since my last update, so my guess that I was getting pretty close was correct. It was 22 uses to hit pan on it. I used that with kind of like a what is this brush called again? It's completely rubbed off, of course. I don't know. This type of brush to blend it kind of in my outer corner and into my crease a little bit as well. So 22 uses to hit pan on this guy. That way gives me a good idea about like how many uses to expect for this palette, because that's the first shade in this palette that I have hit pan in. So that's exciting. I'll give you a quick swatch of this guy as well. Shade was definitely a bit more powdery, but not crazy powdery at the same time. That's the blue shade right there. Yeah. So that is the shades that I have been working on. Now I've got only 4 shades here, so that means we're gonna roll something new in. Let's talk some numbers first. Eyeshadows with pan, I added 1 more pan over the last month, bring me to a total of 57 pans at the moment. I did not finish anything off, so my total eyeshadow count is still 491. This brings me to a pan percentage of 11.6 at the moment, so we're slowly climbing up again after being at 10.2 at the start of the year. So not too bad, although I know I'm gonna finish off some shades, which is gonna like mess it up a little bit again. But finishing off shades is good. I have 5 shades in our project, so I still have 429 shades to pick from. So I've got my phone right here. I'm gonna open the Pretty Random app and put in the numbers 1 to 429. I'm gonna clear the history and we're gonna shake this. Before I do, I want to make sure, as always, that my shades are not too similar to anything I'm working on in my Pan That palette or already in my Pan Those Eyeshadows. So that is one of the rules, and no blacks, because I just have 1 focus black and I keep working on that until it's finished. It's already hard enough to work on that anyway. 390, which I'm pretty sure is a shade from my 120 pan palette again. So let's take a quick look. Is it 390? Is shade number 80 in the palette, which is, let's see, so we've got 2 layers here. So this is 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 60 shades here. And then the palette at the bottom. So we have shade 80, right? Yeah, 80. So 80 is all the way here, and it's a matte pinky shade, which definitely wouldn't be a like lid shade, so it wouldn't interfere with my other, it's very chalky, with the other pink shade that's already in here. This is gonna probably go so quick. You can barely see it as well, like especially now it's a matte, so it doesn't even give you a little bit of a shine, but it is right here, I promise. And I think it's gonna be easy enough to like even use that as a like blending out, like when my transition shade is a little bit too much, just used it to make it look a little bit better. It's so close to my own skin tone, even though it's a bit more pinkish, that this is not going to be something I'm going to even be able to use as a transition shade. So it's probably going to be a blending out shade, which should be easy enough to use. And it's fairly powdery, chalky, like I said, so I'm expecting this to move fairly quickly. Like I'd say about like with the blue shade, 20 uses, probably even less, because with the blue shade I had to be careful because I didn't want too much of the blue. So let's see. That's a good and easy shade to roll in. My palette looks very non-existent like this, but this is what we're working with. Any ideas, thoughts, let me know. And oh yeah, focus shade. My focus shade for next time is gonna be this pinky shade. It's been in for one of the longest, I think, as well. Like, how long has that been in? That one has been in for 3 months now. The green shade is the only one that's been in for longer, but I've got other like brighter shades that I want to focus in on as well, and the dip on that one is not as apparent yet, so I'm gonna try and focus in on that pink shade. I've got a similar amount of uses on the both of them anyway, but the shiny pinky shade, try and see if I can hit pan on that one by next time. So yeah, that is it for today. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Bye bye.